brunette vibes, but still with some blonde. Okay.
I guess I was kind of envisioning some kind of a mix of these.
Yeah.
This is like the darkest, but this is still kind of dark. I really like this. So pretty.
Just incorporate more of that. You're lightening your base colors so that you're still this, but we can add pieces of this throughout your hair so that you see more of it. Still keeping some light, but we'll also tone the blonde so that it's a little bit softer.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think it'll be like less maintenance for you too. It'll be healthy for your hair.
Here's what we're starting with, you guys. Her previous base formula was 811 and 40 volume. So I'm actually just going to keep that the same. I'm taking small enough sections so that I can saturate and be very neat with my application. Taking small sections will help me stay neat, prevent overlapping, and perfect my saturation. These things combined are super important for consistency, especially when using 40 volume developer. Typically when I'm doing maybe like some color correcting or a new project or a new client's hair, I like to start with the root and then move down to the mids and then focus on the ends. I do this with consulting and application for the most part, or I at least use that order to think about my application overall. Keeping this process super simple, after that base is applied, I'm sectioning into 4 quadrants and focusing on each quadrant individually. This is going to be our low light application. My goal here is just clean, consistent work. So I'm taking pretty much the same size sections in each foil and working my way up the head. Her formula in her foil is 8.3 and 10 volume in a demi-permanent color. Let's go over my formulation. So her root, we are lifting, which means that we are exposing underlying warmth. And since she doesn't want to be a redhead per se, we want to somewhat neutralize as much warmth as possible. Her end goal is still a warmer brunette. Naturally, she's going to see warmth since we are lifting. So that's why I chose 811. That's to counterbalance as much warmth as possible, still knowing that she's going to experience not an ashy end result, if that makes sense. 40 volume, because she is extremely dark, she is about a natural level 4 or 5. And since we're lifting quite light, 40 volume is going to give us the maximum amount of lift. Now, since her ends are previously highlighted and light and somewhat porous, we need a little bit of some warmth to make sure she doesn't go dull and to really give us the end result that we're looking for. We're not counteracting warmth on her ends. We need to add some pigment and warmth into her ends to get a true end result. That is why I opted for an 8.3 and demi-permanent, because we don't need ammonia in her hair to get this end result. Her cuticle is already open, she's porous, and she's already blonde, so we really just want to deposit and fill. Towards the front, I'm being a little bit more artistic in my application. I'm allowing myself to leave some color off of her ends and leave a little bit more lightness around her face. So you can see as I work up the head of the hair in the front, some more blonde is going to be left out. That is to give more of a face frame effect. And, just to give her some brightness around her face. Her goal photos had that incorporated as well, so we're just maintaining that throughout. This is where you can get a little artistic with it, kind of play, go with your gut, Still maintaining the same technique on the opposite side, working up the head, just showing you some different angles of what I'm doing here. We also did 811 and 30 volume on her eyebrows. When I apply eyebrow color, I make sure it's super saturated. I don't even want to see the eyebrow hair popping through. Eyebrow hair is pretty coarse, so you need to make sure that it's super saturated. I let all of that sit for about 40 minutes before pulling the foils, wiping her brows off, giving her a nice shampoo. I towel dried and toned all over with 9GB and 8WG. That's to keep her light while adding some warmth to her blonde. Anytime I finish a client, I blow dry a small section around their face so we can see the hair fully dry before we go into a full styling or cut.
Oh my gosh, this is exactly like what I had in mind too.
Oh my god.
Yeah, when I sent all 3 photos, I was like, I don't know if this makes any sense, but this is exactly like what I was thinking.
Yay! Yeah, so from here we'll be able to just do like the same base touch up that we always do. And you can honestly just like live with that for as long as you want. And then if you're ever like, I want to add some more lightness. We can do like a couple little pieces of blonde, or we can, you know, we'll kind of play with it as we go. Pretty low maintenance.
We were both obviously very obsessed, so we jumped into some styling. Again, keeping this really simple and neat, we are just using some nice sectioning here and applying a curl gel and a moisturizer. Using my favorite bounce curl brush, I am brushing those products in and setting her curls really nicely, just doing some finger coiling to detail and working my way up the entire head with this technique. I'm also spraying with water when the hair needs it. So as I'm working up the head, if I'm noticing the hair is getting a little dry, I will give a little spritz with some water. Once I get to the crown and around the face and the front, I do this entire section forward. That's going to give some volume and it's going to frame the face really nicely. But if they want a definite part, you can obviously just section where you want parted and then style the curls in that position as well. Using a microfiber towel to remove some of that excess moisture and then going through with my diffuser and starting to dry and lift those curls. I am also having her flip her head in multiple directions so that she gets nice lift and her curls don't land too stiff. I don't know if any of you guys have used this Formula 18 Shine Oil, but I am obsessed. It is so amazing and it leaves the hair so shiny. So I'm just using a little bit of that to separate her curls to prevent frizzing, but to help remove the cast that sometimes the gel will leave after the hair dries. I'm only going in and doing this after the hair is 100% dry. You guys, we were just so happy with this end result. I feel like it was super spot on to her goals and it's so flattering on her skin. I feel like it's an updated look compared to like the bleach blonde that people are kind of straying away from a little bit more now. It's going to be way less maintenance for her and it's just going to keep her hair overall so much healthier. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. This is a closer look. Yeah, super happy.